Hello everybody, Cape Rugby TV, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. Nice to have you along. As usual, all the very best of club rugby in and around Cape Town. Of course, a little bit outside of the Cape Town area when we stretch a little bit further to every now and then the Somerset West area, the Gustros and the Silurians and the Strand Pioneers who've made such a big effort to promote rugby out in that neck of the woods. Of course, we try not to forget about the guys in Paarl. Unfortunately, can't pick us up, but we get out there every now and then. You'll be wondering what's in my hands. Well, these are the old Scrum magazines. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But tonight, we have a very special guest, and protocol demands that I greet him first and write off the O-Buddies like Mr. Herman Abrams and Jerome Parvater. So we'll come to the O-Buddies a little bit later. We're speaking into the young buddies first. The president of the Western Province Rugby Football Union, Mr. Thelo Wakefield. Hello, Mr. Wakefield.
Good evening, JP, and good evening to all the viewers. Nice to be here.
Like dinge.
Lekker.
Dit is bietjie nat op die oomblik.
Dinge loop. Dit is nat, maar ons gaan aan.
Lekker. Jerome, hoe gaan met jou?
Baie goed, JP. Dankie. Lekker om weer terug te wees.
You see, I went in order of you know what they say, age before beauty here.
Yeah, I wonder why you did that, because you're talking about old bullies.
Because Mr. H is a lot younger than you are.
I'm the young bully.
You are the young buddy, yeah. But I don't know, Mr. H says he's a bit younger than you. But Mr. H says, you're only as old as the rugby ball you feel. Mr. H, hoe gaan met jou?
I normally say the night is young and so am I.
Yes, I've heard that about you. So listen, in a couple of minutes' time, we're going to start talking about all these Scrum magazines. I know, Mr. H, you've got a whole lot of information here. In fact, we're going to talk about Tennis Lanier tonight. We're going to take a look at the new Western Province Rugby Club format that's going to be rolling out in 2014. That was approved at a special meeting at the Western Province Union on Monday night. We're going to touch base with the president of the union in a couple of minutes on that. And of course, all the Super League A, Super League B, Premier League A, B, and so forth fixtures, all that coming up in a second. Let's start off, in fact, with some of the results from the weekend. We'll start off there with Super League A. Some interesting results there, and as you can see, it was SK Warmers, a 23-18 win for them over Belleville. UWC, 31-23 over False Bay. And NNK up against Hands and Hearts. NNK coming away with a win against a very strong Hands and Hearts, 19 points to 15. Jerome, if we look at that one there, as you know, that was the match we were out there over the weekend. Mr. H, you were also out there on Friday night, actual fact. UWC against False Bay. Did you think False Bay was gonna go down?
No, not the way they started. But then after that, I couldn't see very well what was happening on the field, you know.
There was so much mist, it was almost impossible to see.
But well, it was a great game in any case.
Mr. Wakefield, you're from that neck of the woods, UWC and CPUT and so forth. The young students, they're doing pretty well coming out of Premier League A. They've now been promoted into Super League B. They're standing their ground.
Yeah, if only CPUT could follow the example of UWC. UWC is trying very, very hard to make rugby work at the institution, and they did well to beat False Bay. They also did well in the Varsity Shield competition, and I can see them going from strength to strength.
Did you think that they would beat False Bay?
I never thought so, because just earlier in the day I had Brian Peters in the office. And we all know Brian Peters, you know, he bragged about how they're going to beat UWC. I got a shock. I thought it would be best for me to stay at home than to sit there and be humiliated by the guys from False Bay. But when I heard the score Saturday morning, I was quite surprised.
They would never have let you live that down. But yeah, anyway, a good, excellent win there for UWC against False Bay in what was very wet conditions. Now, we did go out to the game. Folks, we're going to have to apologize for the footage because it was unprecedentedly misty. As Mr. H mentioned, now you could be sitting in the stands and you could not see the game. I think Freddie Miller, the fly-off there, was battling to see Kenwin on the centre. Is Kenwin on the centre,
Yeah.
Jerome?
Kenwin, yes.
Kenwin's playing great rugby.
He's playing very good rugby.
I must say something about him is that he has this incredible ability, and we saw it in the Varsity Cup, and we've seen him improve from year to year. He has this incredible ability to straighten the line.
Yeah, definitely, because he's big and strong and he's got pace and great skills. He's as well at fullback as he plays centre. So yeah, and he's still young. He's got a great future ahead of him.
Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights there. As we say, very misty, but we did manage to give you just a little bit of snippet. So if you look at this and you think it's foggy, you don't need to clean your glasses. Just check it out and try and enjoy it with us. Have a look. Well, I tell you, if there was ever a night that you needed a cup of coffee, a cup of Kenya coffee from Jerome Parvata, then that was the night. Taz Fezani had a fantastic game there. Freddie Miller had a fantastic game. Charlton van Jaars had a fantastic game. The only sad thing about the game is that at one stage there was a red card, and at a later stage there was another red card. Even things out, they were down to 28 players, and then it was rugby all the way. As soon as they sorted out the niggle. Jerome, in some games it takes a couple of minutes to sort the niggle out first, eh?
Yeah, and as you said, JP, I've spoken to Tez, the lock of UWC. He said that, that red card of theirs were within the first 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He said that he thought that this is,
Life.
falls by, so this is going to be a tough night for them. And they've actually done well to manage to win the game, and they were, as you said, even it out when Falsby also got a red card. I don't know how the ref could see on an evening like that. That maybe he took the wrong card out, JP.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. We managed to catch up with the losing captain and coach, Kevin Musikanth and Michael Popmeyer from False Bay. Let's see what the boys had to say. Kevin Musikanth, coach of False Bay. Kev, you guys had them in the beginning there, a little bit tougher than I suppose you maybe expected.
I would say tougher than we expected, but I suppose at 23-6 we let ourselves down tremendously. I mean, to go down at the end, we lost our bonus point as well. So the guys, they did let themselves down. I can't say complacency. I think perhaps UWC were up for it. They sort of came back, they got a sniff, and then they fired away and they found their straps and probably ended up deserved winners, and we must learn from it.
I mean, you guys have had an amazing season so far. You've absolutely rocked the Super League B world. Everyone's been, obviously had their sights set on you in a manner of speaking. And UWC, like you say, they probably, if there was one to win, it was this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have had a great season, but unfortunately it's sport and you're only as good as your last game. So we end up losers, and we need to come back firing next week. It's tough. We got Primrose, which they're unbeaten. So UWC and Primrose are the two unbeaten sides. We've got to go out and hopefully stick them away.
Oh, once again for a club who has shown what you can do without paying. Incredible stuff.
Thank you very much. Thanks, JP.
Thanks, Kev. Michael, tough game.
Yeah, it was tough. I think we stepped off the pedal there, I think, after the second try in the second half. And then, a little bit of too much complacency. And, bounced all their balls for them, so it didn't work our way.
You've had an incredible season, as we were talking to you now about Kevin. Obviously not hard for you guys to get it back on track.
You know what, this is maybe what we needed, to go back to the drawing board, switch on. We always talk about complacency, it's unacceptable. but it's happened tonight, and all credit to UWs.
Well, you guys have treated it with a complete professional approach, even though you're an amateur side. The way that the team has handled the game tonight, really, to you and your boys, well done.
Thanks so much, JB. Thanks a lot.
Welcome back to Cape Rugby TV. Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock. Kevin Musicant there. It didn't go their way, but False Bay's been doing a great job so far. Jerome, I mean, it was a tough game. You can't really hold False Bay anything wrong with them. Just the rub of the ball, it was a close game.
Yeah, definitely. In on the day, everything worked for UWC. I mean, their kicks, who normally would go out on the full, went out for them. And I mean, the bounce of the ball. And and as Kevin said, that they were unlucky to miss their bonus points because they were leading so far. And tough for them. Tough luck for
False Bay on the day. UWC getting stronger and stronger. And we see a lot of our junior clubs or the sort of the lower level clubs just getting stronger and stronger and stronger every year. Don't think that if you're up at the top there in Super League A or Super League B that you're going to be able to stay up there, because the other clubs are coming. They're getting stronger and stronger. We also caught up with the winning captain and coach of UWC, of course, Oliver Jansen and Charlton van Jaarsveld. Charlton van Jaarsveld, no stranger to Cape Rugby TV. What an incredible game.
Yeah, it was an incredible game because a lot of physicality, a lot of stress because of our first red card in that first few minutes. It put a lot of pressure on us. We had to stick together. We had to defend for another guys off the field. But we managed to do that, and it kept us in the game.
Het julle hierdie week gedink False Bay, daai se groot game?
Ja, ons het so gedink, maar ons vat elke game baie ernstig op, want ons weet is niks maklike games soos verlede week het ons weer 'n harde game gehad away. So die week weet ons weer dit gaan weer 'n tawwe ene wees. So ons vat maar elke game as 'n harde game, en so ons fokus elke game soos ons die vorige game op gefokus het. So ja, ons vat alles soos ons moet doen.
Kan julle die volgende keer miskien vir ons organise dat nou nie so baie mis is nie?
Yes, dis nie in ons hande nie, maar ja.
Uitstekende game to jou en Ollie en die boys daar, wel gedaan meneer.
Dankie JP.
Ollie, big one. Did you think it was going to happen?
JP, last week was a bit of a disappointment. I think we were well focused for this game, and we knew if we want to stay in the league, we had to win this one. It was good for the boys for their confidence, and I think they're happy. When you see them happy, they'll probably work even harder.
You were down to 14 men at one stage. It was only later in the game that they dropped down to 14 men. What was going through your mind at that time?
I thought we still had a chance, but we had to change our plans then. But immediately when their guy got a red card, we thought no, it was equal, so it was fine for us then. Then we could go with a plan that we wanted to go with.
They had the upper hand for a little bit there. How did you change the momentum?
You know, against big forwards, you know they at the beginning of the game they're going to kill you. It's just your defense have to keep up, because late in the game that guys is not going to last, and that is what happened in the second half. We knew in the second half we have to keep them at bay and get the ball in the corners and play in their half, and it worked perfectly.
Another sterling performance there from Charlton van Jaarsveld, Jerome, and of course Oliver Jansen, the coach there. Jerome, Charlie seems to be getting more and more comfortable in this position as captain. I mean, obviously we've seen him around for a while now. He's been captain. Did he captain the amateur side?
No, he didn't. He didn't captain the amateur side, but he was involved with the amateur side. He played.
He played in it. Yeah.
But I mean, the whole season, he's a great leader, and I must say, the guys look up to him there at UWC, and they listen to him. I mean, he make it very easy for a coach to work with a captain like that.
Yeah.
It made it very easy.
Oliver Jansen, of course, also doing a fantastic job there. Right, folks, the thing that has now, of course, become a very important thing for club rugby players, and I'm just going to stretch back, so if I fall off the camera here, or more importantly, if I fall off the chair, you would have seen this. Check this out. There you go. It's the Tata Man of the Match. It's $1,000 for a club rugby player. And what I love about this is that when we bring this out to the field now, all the fans want to have a picture with the check. Mr. H, have you noticed that?
Yes, I've seen that.
They come and everybody's there like man of the match. I mean, when we went out to Durbanville last year, I think when Durbanville played against Hamilton's, I had to go and say hello to the guys in the change room. And every player took the check and said, I'm the man of the match. Had a picture taken with the check. Anyway, Freddie Miller, once again, sterling performance from him. Fly off for UWC. Of course, he had a great impact. He was almost the player of the the backline player of the tournament in the Varsity Shield. Freddie Miller, again, our title man of the match. Let's catch up with him and Philip October. Philip, of course, the chairman of UWC, handing over the check to Freddie Miller. Freddie Miller, jy is ons Tata man of the match vanaand. Weer eens hierso Tata Parel Vallei en Tata Oostenburg en Ivan Lindner die boys, R1000 vir jou. Jy seker weer eens in jou noppies. Jy's al weer hoeveel keer 'n man of the match?
Seker my 5de keer nou.
Nog nie by ons nie.
Nog nie by julle nie.
Nog nie by ons nie, maar by die Varsity Shield dink ek jy het 'n paar man of the matches in die Rose huis toe gevat vir mamma Anne Marie.
Ja, ek het dit vaker. Sy ondersteun met alles wat ek doen so. Jy moet alles om eer aan haar gee en eer aan God. So.
Nou, wanneer kom ons terug na die game toe. Dit was 'n tawwe game vandag. Dit was 14 man aan die een kant, dan weer 14 man aan die ander kant, maar dit lyk my dat jy daai backline gekontrol het.
Eerste helft was 'n bietjie shaky geweest. Met die skok wat ons gekry het met die eerste met die rooi kaart in die eerste 5 minute. Het ons maar besluit ons moet agter maar as 'n unit saamstek. Ons vanaand gedefend dat soos Trojans gedefend. Ons het nog nooit dit gedoen nie. Eerste keer dat kon ons sien ons kon dit doen. Alle dinge se gaan na die backline toe want ons het vanaand saamgesteek as 'n unit en net die forwards uitgehelp en hulle was 'n man minder so. Ons moet mekaar uitgehelp het agter.
Ernstige besering daarso op die end. Donnie is okay? Hulle sê sy enkel is nogal ernstig.
Ag, hy's 'n Weskus klonk so. Hulle is al harde manne. Ja, hy gaan gou terugkom nie waar hy nie.
Die Weskus ouens kan 'n punch vat, ja. Okay, wel ons hoop natuurlik dat alles met hom goed gaan. Maar ek gaan nou vir Philip October, die chairman van UWC of UWs hierso bring om vir jou die check te bring, die Tata man of the match. Hy gaan met jou kom handskit. And there we go. It's R1,000 once again courtesy of Ivan Lindner and Tata Oostenburg and Tata Paul, which is in fact just down the road here from UWC. So if you have half a chance, get down there and go check out those Tatas. Philip, you must be very proud of the boys tonight.
Very excited. Great win. Ons is baie gelukkig. Eerste helfte 'n bietjie shaky, bietjie bekommerd, maar ons geweet ons gaan dit deurtrek.
Maar UWC, as ons nou kyk na die seisoen, ek meen Valsby net so goed gedoen aan hulle kant van die wêreld. Afgekom van Superliga A, Superliga B begin en hulle het nogal goed gedominate hierso. Maar UWC het hulle kop ook hoog gehou hierdie seisoen sover.
Ja, ag ons probeer ons beste, bly nederig, probeer ons beste. Ek dink ons is baie gelukkig met hierdie wen. Ons gaan nie verder as dit praat nie.
En boonop, ek meen dit is mistig vanaand. Dit is 'n Vrydag aand, daar's baie mense wat vanaand is uit op die Joel, maar eintlik die stands was nogal vol supporters.
Skare, ja.
Was lekker.
Ek was opgewonde. Dit was regtig. Ek het gehoor die ouens sê die Super League B en A word goed attend en ek het dit vanaand gesien. Nee, die ouens hier was 'n lekker skare.
Ja, Philip, weer eens dankie dat jy ons nou gehad het en natuurlik met toekomstige Springbok spelers hierso soos Freddie Miller daarso. Gaan ons net aanhou vir julle kyk.
Dankie JP, baie dankie.
There we go, folks. The Tata man of the match, courtesy of Tata Oostenburg and Tata Paul here at UWC. An amazing win, down to 28 players at one stage. Well, this is what club rugby is about. Great players, great talent. Make sure you get down there. We'll see you guys in a sec. There you go, Freddie Miller, once again, a great result there. Jerome, did you manage to teach him that little chip and kick, or Mr. H, was that you?
No, he came after my time.
Mr. Wakefield, did you maybe teach him the...
I must say I had him for a few weeks and I'm glad he's doing it now.
You managed a lot of the Stormers teams and the Western Province teams, and of course guys like, what sort of advice would you give to a player like that if he comes, when he comes into the Western Province ranks one day?
Man, I was there for 10 years and I remember when Quinton Davids played against those big locks of the Lions. He was pretty scared and I took him into my room and I said, and I can't say on air what I actually told him that day, but I always used to tell the guys, listen, hulle speel teen jou, nie jy teen hulle nie.
Yeah.
So as soon as you sort of tell yourself, yes, ek speel teen DO, kyk DO, jy weet then you've lost the battle, so daai ouens speel teen jou.
Het is interessant dat jy daai storie so vertel, want ek het seker hierdie storie al self vertel, maar ek onthou Nick Mallet 'n paar jaar gelede die storie vertel van hulle het teen die All Blacks gespeel en hulle het 'n spanpraatjie gehad voor die game en Stefan te Blanche sy hand opgesit en sê coach, luister, hulle nou die All Blacks as ons nou die All Blacks nou die hakka doen en ons staan daar voor hulle, wat moet ons doen? En Mallet sê vir hulle toe, luister, dit is maklik. Jy kyk net so vir die ou in die oë en jy staan voor hom en jy sê net vir hom soos in jou kop, ek is groter as jy, ek is sterker as jy en ek is vinniger as jy. Hy sê vir Stefan, Vir wie merk jy? Hy sê Jono Lomu.
No, I must tell you that we were training in Wellington, New Zealand one day, and one of the logs got injured. And I don't know whether Gert made a joke or whatever, and I said, "My wiki sucks for me." So, and that was an opportunity for the players to get back at me because I gave them a hard time and tough time over there, you know. But in fact, I couldn't walk for 3 days, you know. No, never again, you know. Rugby changed the hell of a lot since when we played.
Ek neem aan toe hy sê vir jou sak, hy bedoel push-ups, né?
Nee, hy sê my kop aan die skram druk, but
Skram.
skram en line-out, ja. Ek het omtrent so 20 minute gehou en toe moet hulle my afdra. Rugby changed a hell of a lot, and really today players must work hard to get to the top. That's why I'm so glad for.
Well, with the likes of Freddie Miller there, I'm very excited to see what's happening in the club rugby space. But folks,
Freddie Miller is a player that must really be called to the Currie Cup side. He's been man of the match in most of the Varsity Shield matches. He plays well every weekend, and he should come to the Currie Cup squad.
Let me just
I
ask
think
you.
we can make use of him there.
Let me just ask you, while we've got you here, I think a lot of fans out there want to know more about the structures of Western Province. We need to take an ad break, so I'm just going to ask you very quickly, do you have any influence as the president of Western Province Rugby on the selection of the team? What is the process around that?
No, I don't have any influence. My job is to approve the team, but I never approve the team without a thorough explanation by the coach. Right. Why is he playing this player and why not the other one? And I've taken it upon myself, if I see a promising player, to phone the coach and tell him, invite him to the training session. Yeah, let me just tell you that a year and a half ago, Jerome was with us. We had a seminar out at Beyers Kloof, creating opportunities for club players. And I'm very tough on this document. I want this thing to work.
Yeah.
And I can really say that Jerome brought through nine guys from club level to provincial level. And we need to follow through with this. It is very, very important for our guys to get these opportunities to make use of it.
So we now that we have you here, you know, we can't always believe what Jerome is telling us. He tells us every week that his scouts are out there and you know, he's of course the head of talent identification. So can we just get it from you now?
No, definitely. Let me tell you, he mails me every week his schedule, and he would send out the DISA selectors to various centers of the province, also the amateur selectors. Okay. And he keeps a tab on them, you know, and right. I was in the meeting when he told them.
He's not making up stories about...
No, definitely not. Hy sê vir hulle, julle werk onder my.
Okay, Jerome, nou glo ons vir jou, né? Want ons het bietjie jy weet, nou dat jy nou 'n TV superstar is, ons moet maar net vra, jy weet, is die talent identification.
Ek hoop dat jy weet jy werk ook onder my.
All right, folks, we are going to take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the rest of the results. And of course, the new club rugby format, which was formally approved at the Western Province special meeting on Monday night. That's going to be an interesting conversation. So make sure you don't go away. We'll be back after the ad break.
Hi, I'm Bob Skinson. You're watching Cape Rugby TV.
Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV, Wednesdays, 9 o'clock, your favorite rugby show. And remember, you can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. Right, before we look at the next fact, let's get the results out the way. In Premier League A on Friday night, it was, of course, Paarl up against Scottsdene as well. Paarl losing to Scottsdene by just 1 point. And Gerald Brock phoning me on Saturday and saying just how proud he was of the boys there. 31 points to 20 win for Scottsdene. So very well done to the guys out there. Obviously, Alistair Sichelaar doing a great job. Young People's 46 points to 6 over Langa. And there you can see it in Super League B. Hamilton's losing to UCT over the weekend, 19 points to 15. And Helderberg, 32-33. A 1 point loss only for them against, at least against Belha. Mr. H, some interesting results there in Premier League, eh? Paarl and Scottsdene, Young People's and Langa.
Yeah, and Macassar against St. George's, you know, all Scottsdene, Rangers playing Pernille.
Yeah, those were of course the Saturday games.
Yeah, they all won matches away from home.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to see that, and I think it's good, that they can actually do that.
Well, Macassar obviously are still feeling a little bit bruised after they lost to Solarians. I think even though it was like more than a month ago, and playing in Gastro against St George's, you can imagine for them it's another derby match. It's just over the hill. And of course we know that your grandfather started St George's. Jerome, jy weet mos sy oupa het destijds vir St George's. Yeah. All right, let's look at the rest of the results there now on Saturday. And then you can see Hamilton's, as we mentioned, going down to UCT. The interesting results there, UCT, Jerome, losing to Hamilton's at Hammy's home ground. Tough match for Hamilton's. They really brought it to the game, but it looks like they threw away a lot of penalties in the second half there.
Yeah, definitely, JP. I mean, but it's also, there's also two of the top sides, and it's a good result. It's a good result for them. It could have gone either way.
Yeah. Helderberg beating Belhar. Helderberg, after their loss against Belleville, they must be happy with that. Only 1 point, but I mean, for them to come out now, I think it's their first win of the season. And or at least losing to Belhar. Losing to Belhar is still going not right.
Yeah.
What I mean is it's going well for Belhar. Now they're getting about a bit of momentum.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good win for Belhar, but I mean, Helderberg could have won that game. They had their bonus point already, and the time was about finished. The scrum off took a quick tap where they could have kicked for poles and won the game.
Why does this keep happening, Jerome? I mean, surely we keep speaking about strategy. We keep speaking about not watching TV rugby. You really need to get these coaches in and say, guys, we've identified some obvious losses that you've done in the last 5 minutes, throwing the game away. Surely those coaches can come to you and say, guys, statistically, we've shown that in 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes of the game, you've done the basics wrong. You took a quick tap when you didn't need to run the ball. You kicked the ball out when it was 2 minutes left of the game. Why did you do that? There are a few things that cost you the game in the last few minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's discipline, and I mean, you know the hair of Ricky Peterson, the coach of Helderberg. He's got quite almost like an Afro type.
What's with you and Ricky?
So no. So he almost pulled his hair out.
Yeah.
And, that's dying moments. They needed the points.
Yeah.
Not needed the points. They've got their bonus points. Kicked the ball over. This guy decided to quick tackle him, lose the ball, end of the game.
I mean,
You're talking about the Ricky Petrol money.
Yeah, Ricky Petrol money, of course. But we're going to go back to that conversation of do you pay or do you not pay. But yes, I mean, you obviously didn't see John Dobson before he coached Western Province Rugby, because Ricky Peterson will be well on his way to looking like Dobbo. Okay, let's quickly look at the results in Premier League A. Peniel Villages going down to Rangers, 46-22. St George's going down to Macassar, and Collegians, a big win for them, 51-13 over Kraaifontein. In Division 3, Temperance losing to Strand Pioneers, Progress losing Kalicha 22-0. In the PAL region, it was Young Gardens 35-16 over Albions, and of course Violet's PAL 23-15 over Vineyards. Lower PAL beating PAL Rangers 15-0. While in the Simonsburg region, it was the Pumas 20-0 over Excelsior, Lamotte beating Fora 31-0. Blue Swallows losing to Wandley 20-0, and Blue Stars 19-34 loss for them against Languedoc. Of course, folks, that is the Simonsburg region, which is, of course, the Farm League, which is doing so well, and so nice to see the farm players getting on the trucks and on the tractors and on the taxis and everything on a Saturday to go and play on a farm with a rugby field. So nice to see recognition from the Western Province side there in terms of the Farm League. Mr. Wakefield, let's turn our attention to you now. Just quickly, this Farm League is a fantastic opportunity.
Yeah, if you, let me say this, if you want a lekker jaw,
yes,
you go to the end of year function. They organized, and the food is good, the music is good.
And the wine is good.
The wine is good, and the girls are good, and everything is just good about their function.
Morgan Newman would argue that if the girls are good, then it's not a lekker function.
No, there must be something wrong with him. But I had a meeting last week with him. These guys are very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
They would like to do more for their rugby.
Yes.
And they've also included the farm girls in the netball league. So
Applaus Macy.
years,
Dan meneere, daar
So
jy kan praat oor
when they go to play rugby against Lamont, they bring the whole happy lot with from the farm, you play.
and it's interesting that after so many years of struggling with administration, it was the Farm League that came to the union, someone with a whole computer, the desktop, the keyboard, the mouse pad, alles, to come and fill in their administrative details.
Absolutely. As I said, they are very, very organized.
Talking about organization, of course, next year is going to see a slightly different structure at the union. Next year we will see, and we have to still dig into this a little bit more, folks. So we're just going to get through the basics of what's going to happen next year. 2014 will see the end of this current league structure, where we have Super League A, Super League B, all the 10 teams per league. Super League A will now merge with some of the lower teams, and essentially next year you're going to see 4 different leagues. In other words, 4 leagues of 15, and then you're going to see 4 leagues of 11. When I say 15, I'm talking about 15 teams, much like a Super 15, and there will be a round-robin format. Mr. Wakefield, this was approved at a special General Council meeting on Monday night. You must be happy with this new format?
I am, because it's an exciting new competition. I do believe it offers the rugby clubs more opportunities to promote themselves. We don't have any names yet for the various leagues, but what was heartening to note last night that concerns were raised about the league, and the concerns were from the 1A entities that
being Super League A now.
The Super League A,
yeah.
That the idea of strength versus strength will disappear. Obviously, they haven't seen 2A and 2B in action. We have some very good clubs there, and they play very good rugby. And I would really like those people to attend more of these games when their teams don't play, so that we have an holistic view of what is happening in the union. Before I continue, I attended a match between Kylemore and Blue Jets 2 weeks ago in Kylemore, and it was the most exciting match ever. Apart from the spectators that went berserk, the players on the field played some excellent rugby, and I really thought that we should get selectors out there to come and see what we have there. The new competition, JP, like I said.
Sorry, just to interrupt you, just to give the folks a little bit more explanation there, it seems that the way that the 15 is going to be structured is that you can imagine the top 5 in Super League B will join with the top 10 in Super League A. And then you will have the bottom 5 of Super League B joining the top 10 in Premier League A. And then so forth until you get to your 60 top teams split into 4 different leagues, and then you'll have your 11 and so forth in the other leagues. And essentially, if you do those numbers, you'll come up with, I think, 104 teams, which now, of course, includes the Farm League, which takes us over 100 teams in the union. Mr. Wakefield, this makes it, in terms of this format of round robin, it makes it a scenario that, and that it's a league competition, that each tournament, or it's almost like you can have a tournament in each league.
Exactly.
This must be much more appealing for sponsorship, for the media, the fans, and so forth.
I don't think for the media, apart from Cape TV, I must still see some of our mainstream media report on club rugby. But the Cape TV, and whilst we are busy at it, JP, congratulations with this great show. It gives a hell of a lot of exposure to club rugby. Yes, there are a lot of opportunities for club to move up now. The current competition says 2 up, 2 down, or 1 up, 1 down. It's not enough. It's not. It does not help the club to promote their rugby, to strengthen their rugby. Now we will have an opportunity for more clubs to promote for higher honours, and I'm excited about it. There were some concerns last night that less rugby will be played, 15 games or so. We need to look at that. There were also concerns that it will reduce the marketing and of Western Province rugby in the various areas. Therefore, we have a marketing team to do that, and I think that, but the most important thing is that clubs will now work harder to strengthen their teams. recruit more players of potential that can, with potential that can assist them and help them get to the top. And then a challenge for the executive, and we must start working on this immediately, is to link each competition with a business out there, so that we just don't play for cook and tea and a copy at the end of the year, but we do play for prize money. I believe in Khayelitsha they still play for a scarp, but we have to do away with that. We're now living in tough times, and clubs are in need of money. So
Did you ever manage to find a cow for Blue Jets?
Well, I told him on Rotterdam Road, which is now Robert Sebukwe, there is a cow walking around there. I saw it last night on my way home again. So I'll help him to get hold of the thing, provided that the police is off the road and we can get hold of that thing for him.
Because I'm pretty sure that if you go to the N2 as well, you see a couple of cows walking over the walkway as well.
Yeah, maybe we can sponsor 15 leagues with that.
15 leagues, 15
but,
cows.
Important for us is to work hard, find sponsors, connect them to the various leagues. We could have the Evox League, 1A maybe. We could have the Brights Hardware League. And businesses must understand that we have nearly 18,000 registered club players. They are out there amongst the shops in the economy every day, and they are the people who support them. I wouldn't like to divulge more names, but we are working very hard, and come hell or high water, by the end of the season, we need to secure these things.
And if you go back 5 years, or it was almost impossible to get a sponsor for club rugby. But today we have radio, we have television, we have Facebook, we have Twitter. I mean, it is the exposure around a corporate would be very stupid, or would be having their attention from the in the wrong space if they're not noticing the complete value of investing in a community activity, in a club rugby activity that reaches such an enormous audience.
Exactly, and the close connection with, that we have with this the TV program will also assist them. And I think we need to promote this TV program as well, so that they can see how they could win at the end of the day.
Well, from our side, we're extremely happy to say that we are the second biggest rugby show in South Africa. So any sponsor that's not sponsoring one of your tournaments is really, I think that they should fire the brand manager.
Yeah, but and once we chat to these people, I'd like you to invite you, and from a TV exposure point of view, you can tell them how many people are looking at and are watching this show. It's important for them to know these things.
No, I think
like I said, it's a challenge for us, a major challenge for us. And come hell or high water, end of the year, we must have sponsors in place.
Well, I think it's going to be very exciting if you consider the fact that this weekend we're going to go to Tygerberg against Belhar. And remember, that was one of the preseason games that got changed. Finally, this game is coming up. It's Tygerberg against Belhar. Now, to go back to what Mr. Wakefield was saying about the opportunity to sponsor a team, if you are a corporate out there, of course, we'll see where this whole tournament structure goes next year and the kind of commercial offerings around that and who can get involved with it. But if you can imagine that a club field has 6,000 spectators around it, Mr. Wakefield, and you can put 6,000 people around a stadium, there's no ways that a sponsor could be walking around away from that.
Absolutely. It's hell of exposure for them, and they should make use of the opportunity.
Yeah. Talking about exposure, it was, of course, the Stormers played against the Reds over the weekend. We're going to get into the Super 15 side of things in a couple of minutes' time. Tinus Lanier, it was the Tinus Lanier Rugby Day on Saturday. How did that go? Was it successful?
I think it was very successful. I'd like to thank our marketing department, and together with all the staff members and those that assisted.
I saw Treble, the guys who manage Club Newlands, they came to the party. DHL came to the party.
In the President's Suite alone, we raised about 32,000 Rand.
Fantastic.
And so far we had close on to 13,000 SMSs, and we'd like the people to send in their SMSs to support him. We're also thinking of having a 24-hour rugby match this year. That will break the Guinness Book of Records at 23 hours. And,
is that where it currently stands at, 23 hours?
Exactly, and it will mean all hands on deck with this major project. But again, there we can assist him. I've just had a call this afternoon from a very, very famous chef.
Ruben Riffel.
Who would like to...
Gordon Ramsay.
Who would like to...
JP Nodia.
Who would like to
Michael
make
Adonis.
his restaurant available.
Ansel and April.
Yeah, I think it was the first one. I think it was the first one.
Ruben Riffel.
And maybe this is some sort of
let the cat out of the bag.
some commercial for that function. We're hoping to sell 10 tables at 5,000 rand each.
Yeah.
Ruben Riffel at the Ruben Riffel restaurant.
Well, look, hang on. I hope I didn't put you in an awkward spot
No,
there.
no, definitely not. I thought of splashing it here because we need to get the corporates out there to support us.
Yeah.
And we sold this afternoon, by just mentioning it to 2 people, we sold 2 tables.
Well, I tell you something. For the folks out there, if you ever want to have a fine dining experience, you can get down to Ruben's in Franschhoek. When I was on Good Hope FM, I used to interview Ruben all the time. And
No, this is exactly where the function will be.
Really?
Yeah, and we'll have some lovely stuff to auction there. And the target there will only 60,000 rand for the night. And yeah, we can make it.
Well, I've
as
got a
far as
feeling
the other
that
goodies are concerned, we had collection buckets all around the stadium. And that also brought us a pretty penny. But we're not going to stop with this. Leila Steyn is busy with a golf day.
Yeah.
I think Dr. van der Skyf last night gave us a good account of what motor neuron disease is all about.
Yeah.
And looking at and hearing at what he said there, we have to work hard to assist him and his wife to go through this very difficult time.
Yeah, now, of course, our thoughts are with tennis, and there you can see it up on the screen right now that you can SMS to 38208, 38208. You can see on the screen, tennis. SMS the word tennis, and that will cost you just 10 Rand, and funds will be raised to go to Tennis and near former Western Province rugby legend. He, of course, turned out midweek games for the Springboks as well. So SMS the word tennis to 38208, and 10 Rand will be deducted off your contract to go and support Tennis Lanier for his struggle against motor neuron disease. So our thoughts are with Tennis and his family, and we look to continue supporting that process, and we will keep, during the remainder of the season, keep reminding you to SMS. I'm sure that SMS line will stay open to SMS the word tennis to 38208, and funds will go through to Tennis and support him. Right, folks, we're going to take an ad break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap it up with Super 15. Of course, you remember our fan pick of the week picture. We asked you to give us a caption and see what you think was our fan pick of the week. We've got some very interesting captions there. And we'll take a look at some of the club rugby fixtures that are coming up this week. And then we'll, of course, tie it all together with a pretty little bow when we talk about Super Brew. Back with you in a sec.
Hi, I'm Kobani Bobo, and you're watching Cape Rugby TV.
Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. Remember, you can keep SMSing the word tennis to 38208. That SMS line is open till the end of June. So keep pushing it as hard as you can till the end of July.
3rd of June.
3rd of June, Mr. Wakefield. Okay, till the 3rd of June. So you've got a couple of days left. Keep pushing it up until the weekend. Let's quickly take a look at the club rugby fixtures coming up the weekend. It's going to be a fantastic game as we see Durban up against SK Warmers, Durban at home. UWC take on Kales River, NNK and Villages, Van der Stel and Milnerton. On Saturday it's Belleville and Hamilton, so of course home ground at Belleville. Hands and Hearts take on Goodwood, Brackenfell and Hamlets, Primrose and False Bay. Premier League A sees Peniel Villages against Macassus and Georges, Collegians, Rangers and LC Solarians and Paul. In Premier League B, it's Eerste Rivier, Young People's, Manenberg Rangers up against Silvertree, Strand United and Strand, Lunga and Franschhoek. It's going to be a cracker for Lunga as they take on Franschhoek at a home ground advantage. In Division 1, it's Atlantis up against Northern's. Busy Bees take on Wraithby. Hamadiers against Rocklands. That's going to be another derby match. Silver Leaf against Violets. Laguna take on Stellenbosch Coronations. Division 2, it's Watsonia and Blue Jets. Blue Stars, Young Wesleys. Gardens Tech against Masipumolele. Caledonian Roses and Carlamore, Young Stars and All Saints. While in Division 3, Richmond Rangers take on Peninsula. Imikawi take on Clutisville and Kailicha. So home ground advantage for Imikawi. Retreat take on Perseverance. Whistling Wheels are up against Young Ideas. Division 4 sees Delft up against Titans Police and Thistle. Kailicha take on Cities. Home ground advantage for Kailicha. While in the Paarl region, it's Paarl Rangers and Simondium. Albion's Young Standards. Allendale, Peril United, Riverstones Vineyards. Lower Paarl Violets Windmill against Young Gardens. And in the Farm League, there's only one game this weekend. It's Excelsior up against Fora in the Simonsburg region. Leisure Hotels, of course, a proud supporter of the Cape Rugby TV show. And we've got a one-night accommodation, bed and breakfast up for grabs. Last week's winner, congratulations to Demetria Humphreys. Congratulations, Demetria. You are last week's one-night accommodation, bed and breakfast winner at the Strand Towers. Remember, folks, you can SMS to 33280, the word leisure, to put yourself in the mix to win that night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers. Don't forget Evox Advanced Nutrition is, of course, the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. And if you'd like to put yourself in the mix to win yourself a Synergy protein as used by the Stormers, and remember, you can win that Shaker 600, which I'm not going to take apart and put back together tonight, because Mr. H is starting to stay. I'm starting to look like a concertina player as I start to put this all together. But yes, hoe sê jy, Mr. H?
Is 'n magician.
Ja, ek lyk soos 'n magician. Anders in Afrikaans is 'n tovenaar.
Tovenaar.
Yeah, please don't mix your languages.
Tagati.
Tagati. Mr. Wakefield himself. Jerome, have you got a Shaker 600?
No, Jake.
Well, I think I suggest you get one, because I'm very concerned that you're overworking yourself and that you're not having enough meals during the day. So Shaker 600 will solve that problem for you.
Yeah, because I must get ready for the 24-hour game.
Yes,
So I'm
yes.
going to need one.
Yeah, and in fact, you might need more than one. Right then. Yes. Evox Advanced Nutrition. You want to win yourself a Synergy protein. Remember, the Stormers, Western Province Rugby team, the clubs, the under-20s, and the Institute, all of them, the academy, are all using Synergy Whey protein. This is what keeps them on the field. This is what keeps them going off-season, pre-season, and especially during the season. The Synergy Whey protein is the Stormers' favorite whey protein, okay? So make sure you SMS now the word EVOX to 33280. You can see it on the screen, 33280, and your name, and tell us what is the Stormers' favorite product. Congratulations to Hanif Adams. Congratulations, Hanif. You win yourself a Synergy Whey protein. You are last week's winner. A Synergy 100% whey protein up for grabs. Right, there you go. This competition has been fantastic. I tell you, we got, I think, something like 300 odd SMSs in, maybe more, for the one competition, for the Synergy. And then Jerome, I was at UWC, and one of the guys came to me and said, you know, I keep SMSing all the time. And he pulled out his cell phone and he showed me, like, I don't know, about 50 SMSs that he had tweeted and or at least messaged out there to win the hamper, and he was so upset. And I said, okay, I will make him a special prize, and I'll get him from Evox a Synergy Whey protein just for him.
But he can still keep on.
Yes, no, he can still keep on SMSing. Okay, so yeah, let's take a look now at the Super 15 fixtures coming up over the weekend. As we know, it was a great win for the Stormers against the Reds over the weekend. Who would have thought that the Stormers, who apparently were so down and out, would come up and have such a great result? Let's first look at Super Brew. In fact, folks, players and posers in Super Brew. Well, Morgan Newman is not with us this evening. He is, of course, out there training super hard to make sure that he gets back into the Springbok team. Chubby the Legend in Super Brew is the player, and the poser is Sharks Dubai. So Chubby the Legend, congratulations. And this week's yellow cap winner, well, Mr. H, let's have Jerome is already putting his hand out. Hey, Jerome, jy nou jou hand uitgesteek?
No, just wanted to.
Jy het nou jou hand uitgesteek vir die cap, né? All right, let's take a look there at the celebrity rankings again. You see it there. Well, Morgan Newman is firmly on top of the block there. Mr. H in second place. JP Nadia, who still has to put in a few scores, and Jerome bring up the bottom four. Mr. H, congratulations. You are this week's yellow cap winner.
Finally.
I don't know how many scores you got right, but you are this week's yellow cap winner. Let's take a look now at the Super Brew predictions over the weekend. Of course, Super 15 rolls on, very exciting. The Crusaders are up against the Waratahs. Mr. Wakefield, you're going to jump in with us on the Super Brew predictions? We go hard and fast here. Jerome, Crusaders and the Waratahs. Jerome.
Crusaders 10.
Mr. Wakey, are you in?
Crusaders 16, Waratahs 10.
Crusaders are playing against the Waratahs. Oh, you only have to give one score.
Oh, 16.
16 for the Crusaders. Mr. H.
Crusaders 10.
Crusaders 10. I'm going to go with the Crusaders by 12. The Brumbies take on the Hurricanes in Canberra. Jerome.
Hurricanes, Brumbies by 9.
Brumbies by 9. Mr. Wakey.
15.
Mr. H.
10.
I'm going to go with the Brumbies. Mr. H. Okay, I'm going to go with the Brumbies by 7. On Saturday, it's the Highlanders up against the Blues. Jerome.
The Blues by 3.
Mr. President.
Blues 8.
Mr. H.
Blues 15.
Against the Highlanders, I'm going to go with the Blues by 12. The Reds take on the Rebels on Saturday. Jerome.
The Reds by 10.
The Reds by 10. They just got home. Mr. Wakefield.
Red 16.
Yo.
Reds 4.
Reds by 4 up against the Rebels. I'm going to go with the Reds by 6. The Stormers take on the Kings at Newlands. This is going to be a cracker of the game, Jerome.
Stormers by 15.
Mr. Wakefield?
Stormers 35.
Mr. H?
That's confidence. Eh?
Very confident.
I don't go with
Stormers
confidence there. I
20.
think, I quite frankly think that's more like common sense.
Stormers 20.
Just backing my boys.
Mr. Wakefield's going with 35. You're saying Stormers by 20. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Stormers by 25, at least, if not 35, if not totally much more, much more. All right, the Cheetahs take on the Bulls in the final match. That's of course coming up on Saturday at the Bloemfontein. So home ground advantage for the Cheetahs. Jerome.
Cheetahs by 3.
Mr. Wakefield.
Bull 6.
Ooh.
Bulls 9.
Bulls 9. Look at the Bulls, the Cheetahs, the Bulls, the Cheetahs. Home ground advantage for the Cheetahs. Oh, I don't know. This is going to be a tough one. The Bulls up against the Cheetahs. I'm going to go with the Bulls by 5. It's not going to be as easy as they think. All right, then, Mr. H, you got your scores written down?
Yeah.
You're happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Jerome, Bellahar, Tigerberg, going to be a massive match.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracker, JP, and I think there's going to be lots of people. So, yeah, I think that's the game for the weekend. People go out there, and it's going to be a great game. Fantastic stuff. Mr. Wakefield, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. It's been long overdue, and we hope to see you on the show much more.
Thank you very much for having me. Just a message to the clubs. Keep the red and the yellow cards down and play rugby.
The reds and the yellow cards, keep them down. Absolutely, yeah. Club rugby is getting better and better. It's so much better now that we're seeing club rugby getting attention for the skill of the club rugby, not because of the scolly of the club rugby, which was the case so long time ago. Completely different now. Now we've got cameras on you, so you have to be very careful. Mr. H?
Yeah, just the 3 university teams are gone now for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a different ball game now.
So no universities for the next 8 weeks, except for UWC. I think they've got...
In 2 weeks' time, they go on 6 weeks.
They got a 6-week break, yeah. All right, so the university's taking a break. That doesn't help us from a broadcasting point of view. We've got less rugby to talk about. Hopefully we'll have them back in the mix quite soon, but that does make this weekend so much more exciting. Get down and join us. Tigerberg against Belhar. That is one of my favorite clubs to go to, because I know that there's going to be thousands of fans out there. Tigerberg, Belhar, come and join us. And we didn't have time for it this week, but we will next week we'll go through the scrum. Look at this. I found the old Good Hope FM and Western Province Club Rugby Go Head-to-Head magazine. There you go. This is one of the old articles. And that's the one I spoke to you about, Nigel Pearce, myself, back in 2005 on the front of the Scrum magazine. And next week, Mr. H, you and I are going to go through these magazines like old times. All right, that's a wrap. Have yourself a fantastic Club Rugby weekend. We'll see you on Saturday, Belhar against Tigerberg. And when you finish with that game, come racing through to Newlands to watch the Stormers thrash the Kings. Enjoy your rugby weekend. Bye-bye.